Hello everyone, my name is Natalia Locke and this is Play Along tutorial for Adagio and Allegro by Johann Christian Bach and Francesco Pasquale Ricci, who was Italian violinist. And Johann Christian Bach, as you might know, one of the Johann Sebastian Bach's sons, and so part of the Bach dynasty. So let me give you an idea about this piece. As you can see, it's pretty dramatic, very kind of show-offy piece. So even if you're a beginner, you still will be able to play it because it's not tremendously difficult. However, there are a few challenges. So first of all, it's this fast middle part, as you can hear, which actually reminds me of the old violin playing di-da-da-da, di-da-da-da-da. So that would be a violin place of this, violin part of this piece. And very stately beginning, right? So that's why it's called Adagio and Allegro. Adagio is a slow tempo, and Allegro is the fast tempo. So that's actually another challenge. You kind of have to switch inside when it's time to go to play Allegro parts. You have to have this feeling of the very stately pulse in the beginning, and then much faster in the middle. So I'd say play the Allegro twice faster than Adagio. So that should give you an idea how exactly those two parts relate. Okay, let's start with just first few measures. Okay, so your right hand is going to start on the middle C. Your first finger, your thumb, is going to be on the middle C. Your third finger is going to be on E and playing the third interval of the third. So down below in your left hand, you're going to find A, so which is below middle C. It's a third note, right? And if you look at the fingering for left hand, you will see it says 2, 2, and then 1 on the same note, which is challenging as well because our brain struggles every time we have to play the same note, but suddenly with a different finger. So I would advise you practice 2, 2, and then switch it to 1. And the reason for that, because then you have to go a third down to F, skip a note and go to F with your second finger again, second, second, second. Then you have to play G with your thumb, G, 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 and with your pinky you're gonna play low C right here, okay? So let's start from very beginning again. Remember, right hand on the middle C, then you're at E on top of that, and you play those two notes together. So your left hand starts with the second finger on A, and then on the third A, it actually switches to 1. So it's 2, 2, 1, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. 1. So another, not a big, but kind of challenge is to play at measure 4, those ascending scale and then descending scale in the left hand. So right hand goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm telling you the fingers numbers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then left hand kind of echoes it and goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from middle C to low C. And right hand starts from middle C and go to high C, right? So now it's time to tell you about pedaling, because this piece, let me show you how it sounds without pedal like this. It kind of loses part of this dramatic flourish. So let's try and add pedal down. You will actually see the pedal as a line drawn below like this, and then you will see the little little pyramid, if you say so, little a spike, right? What does it mean? You actually have to lift your foot and then place it down again. So lift your foot from the right pedal and then place it down again. So it's going to be like this. So you start with the pedal down before you even playing, and then you play your right hand, left, 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 right hand. And while you're playing the right hand, while you're starting the first beat of the next measure, you have to very quickly lift your hand up and put it back down. So like this. But not before your right hand plays on the downbeat of measure 2. Not before, because otherwise it's going to create a hole in the sound. So listen. You see how it kind of cleaves the sound? Instead of ringing, keep ringing, it like chokes a little bit. So what I want you to do is to do this. 1, 2, 3. Hold the pedal down. Hold the pedal. And only here, change it, right? So, but it has to be very quick, right after your right hand plays the next two notes, D and F. And then you will see at measure 4 that actually the line that underlined all the measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, right under the grand stuff, it's actually M. So that means no pedal on the second note of measure 4. So you're still holding it on the first note, but no. Because if you hold pedal down through those scales, just listen. Kind of mushes everything together. So it doesn't sound very clear. It sounds very muddy and very wet. Yeah. So you have to take the pedal off, take your foot off after downbeat of measure 4. Okay, now let's quickly, let me explain you how the middle part works. Middle part starts at measure 6, and actually measure 6 goes almost forever. Like measure 6 is so long. And why it happens, why we only have measure 6 for so long? Because this part, it's a show-offy part, it's so-called cadenza, when the soloist would show off its skills. So we're going to start working on this very slow. And remember, in this part, you have no pedal. So no pedal down, that means your sound has to be very clear and very crisp, okay? It's not staccato, though. You're still going to play legato. And what is interesting about that? Do you see how the notes showing the stems up? And then you have the first 4 notes stems up, and then next 4 notes stems down. That means the first 4 notes is going to be played by right hand first, and the next 4 notes are going to be played left hand. So again, right, left, right hand, like this. Right, 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 left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 right, 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 right. And what is good about that? You basically going to move your hands to the left after every segment. So like this. Start starting on G, on the high G with your third finger, in the right hand G, F, G, E, and then your left hand starts on the high C, C. What I mean by high C, just to clarify, right? This is C1, C2, C3, C4. C4 we call middle C, and C5 we usually call high C. Well, C3, which is below middle C, we call C3, right? We call it actually low C sometimes. So you understand what I mean by high C. It's a C5, 1 octave above the middle C, right? So your right hand starts on high G, your left hand starts on high C and plays C, B, C, A, and then you start your right hand on F, and left hand on B, then right hand on E, left hand on A, right hand on D, left hand on G, right hand on C, left hand on F, right hand on B, and then left hand on E, and then what's next? Right hand on A, left hand on D, right hand on G. So basically you copy, like playing all the white notes. You're actually starting from high G, and the last note that you're going to start with in the right hand is F. So you go G, F, will see there is an accent above that, like this. And there is like a bird eye, you will see the line like this, and you see a dot underneath that, like a bird eye. So this is called fermata, which means to tell you to hold the note longer, to let it ring until it almost doesn't sound anymore. So like this. 2, 3, 4, and then you keep going, okay? So I'm going to play very slowly Allegro part again. And remember, you're starting on G, on the high G with your third finger. In the left hand, you have to get ready and start on the high C, right? So let's start it very slowly. 3, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I'm playing very slowly. This part a little bit faster. See if you can hold on to that. Now we're gonna go a little bit faster, like this. 1 knee and 2 knee and ready and go and 1. Now we're going to try it a little bit faster so it gets more agitated, because Allegro part, that's the beauty of this piece, the contrast between stately Adagio and very energetic, very dramatic Allegro, okay? So we're going to go 1 knee and 2 knee and ready and go and 1. So keep practicing this part, because the more virtuosically you play it, the more impressed your listeners are going to be. Okay, let's try the last part, the measure 7 to the end. Measure 7 says Adagio again. That means you get back to the slow tempo. So if before you were da 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 da, now you back to bim bum bum boom. Okay. And you're starting with A in the left hand, which is below middle C. So middle C, B, A, first finger gets this one. And your right hand starts first finger, your thumb on middle C, and your third finger on A. And together you're actually playing the A minor chord. Okay, so let's give it a try. Starting from measure 7. So left hand on A, then it goes to F, then it goes to G. And finally, on measure 10, your left hand plays the ascending C major scale. Right? And then right hand actually crosses it over and start with a low C, with C3, with a pinky, and goes slow, slower, and very slow and loud, okay? If you see this line, like this, that means crescendo, which means you have to increase the sound, so create this feeling of intensity. And also you have the rit, which means ritardando, just slow down, like you pull in the reins and you increase in the gravity, and it gets heavier, 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 and more louder and more impressive, okay? So let's start at measure 7. Let's try it very slowly. And 1. Okay, so hopefully that little tutorial helps a little bit. Now I'm going to play it again through the entire piece, and I want you to try and, well, I hope by this time you probably practice like a week or something, and you feel fairly comfortable playing along. And I would recommend practicing the first part, measure 1 to 5 without pedal first, and then measure 7 to the end again without pedal first. Because for the first 3 measures and then measure 7, 8, and 9, you actually have to use the pedal, but learn the notes in rhythm first and then add the pedal, because otherwise it's going to be pretty tricky to connect everything at the same time. It's going to be very tricky for a brain to watch for this and then watch out for pedal. So, okay, let's give it a try. 1, 2, ready, go. Pedal down. Quickly change the pedal. Change the pedal. Pedal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I hope it helps, and I'm really looking forward for you to play this piece.